Welcome to TheMBA.com. This is John's report is for the 25th. And, well, of course, peace dividend. The 12-day war almost continued. I think Trump got on there with the Israelis and kind of tried to reel them back after he was not too happy earlier. So that was interesting to see. But from a reading standpoint, Magenta's crossed over well above yellow in this case. Shorts are rising at this particular point, but that's just fuel at this particular point. Of course, there's going to be a large group of people who don't think that it will last and everything will go back to the way it was. But in the interim, you know, you're approaching uh, those highs and moving, I think, without much resistance. We had Powell get out there and basically say, yeah, we're sitting out this presidency, even though we were so active during Biden's somehow. Yeah, there's no inflation now, but there might be. So we're going to leave rates where they are, and yeah, they're just sitting it out. So from an NQ standpoint, all the way pushing up there. So clearly, everyone's in the distinction here that Nasdaq is certainly more favored at this particular stage, at least from a growth standpoint. So it's been outperforming the S&P just a little bit each way. Um, Readings are pretty much identical. I don't think there's much of a change. You got a little bit better DOC readings, but that flip around for shakeout being positive becomes critical because you have to maintain it. You dip back down into the negative side of things, and well, you do have a lot more room to retrace, but it's just not likely at this particular stage. The 76 becomes really your baseline number at this particular stage because you would expect that you're going to just continue to trade in between it, barring some other new development. And of course, there could be some economic situations within this, but um, you know, the market's only going to be favored here because with the Fed not changing their policy, they're going to do anything. So, well, you can then decide what your spread yield is versus being in treasuries versus the market, and make your assessment accordingly. And I think that you'll see a lot of people diversify in that direction. From an oil standpoint, wow, that's just what happens. The hype and then reality uh, breaks things down. Still really elevated. Will this create much of a transitional bubble in inflation? It'll be a blip, but it'll still show up. I think you'll see a little pop in. Of course, that'll be the justification for the Fed to do nothing in the future, going into the end of the year. So it'll play backwards, but it's still this is too much if you really want to see significant growth move. So that's a problem, and until it gets resolved, and you can see that for the big beautiful bill in that. The parliamentarian cut out a lot of the different drill, baby drill elements, and changed all these rules so that every step of the way is a battle to get anything done at this particular point. So they really pulled out all the stops to prevent Trump from doing anything, and even that hasn't worked. So go figure. Continues to plug away. The euro, though, loves this because, of course, the U.S. is just going to hell in a handbasket. So why wouldn't you want to be in the eurozone that is still struggling? Though Germany showing a couple of signs that it might have some improvement, but still, the GDP relative to the U.S. is not even close. It's like really bizarre that they even get the justification to trade it that way, but that's okay. It is what it is. From a gold standpoint, yeah, this is not great news for gold in the sense of continuing to make new highs. I mean, it's not. I don't see gold coming back down to anything. The devaluation has already taken place throughout the currencies of the world. So you've already set a new baseline, and it just becomes like a. I would think that closer to the 2,500 range is the threshold, but we'll see how it plays out. From a Bitcoin standpoint, of course, moving with the Nasdaq and looking pretty much identical in that case. Both DOC as well as MDI readings, all the same. Only it's shakeout still in the negative territory. So, got some work to do, but if it does get a little bit of excitement, you're going to be looking at a whole other new set of highs for it. So just keeps plugging along, and it's all that uncertainty until they ever get a actual practical use. And you get these little steps here and there, but um, your stable coins and that seem to be varying a little bit stronger. This is the same thing, ETH supporting all these different platforms and stuff. Until you get to a point where it's used on a regular basis, it just isn't going to be anything other than a side potential store of value that you can use from a short-term interim basis. And that's the way I see it's been used for quite some time. I mean, it was easier than gold in a lot of aspects. From a 50K standpoint, well, we saw the buy that came back in the middle yesterday, and well, actually the day before, which was down here, and then we continued to move up and started the day off modest. We had one little brief dip here of the magenta below, but keep in mind, cyan under red, steel below the cyan. I mean, this is all just classic, straight up money in your pocket. There's no other way to describe it. That's just why we always say cyan under red, always buy for DOC. I mean, that's pretty straightforward from the intraday. Look at that, the start of the morning and straight up through the roof. Barely took a little bit of a dip. We saw a little more of that in the European session early on. Well, actually, it was really probably closer to the Asian session. And as we've gotten to the European session, it's just a little muddled because you got to absorb all that excitement that's taken place. And of course, Trump's here in Europe. So there'll be a lot of NATO talk, and that always scares everyone. So we'll see what happens after he meets with Zelensky and if that causes any changes. And that's just a trajectory of summer. As always, if there's anything relevant, I will put it on the team chat. Have a good one. Trade well.